Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mega Man. We have defeated all 6 industrial robots, and we are now going after the guy responsible for the corruption. We are finally going to go and face Dr. Wily at his base. What an insufferable noise. So here we are. First thing I'm gonna do is grab my ice slasher and freeze this big guy and get out of the way, because I'm not trying to deal with that. Oh, there's another one, huh? No, don't worry. Just freeze him and get out of the way. And yet there's another one, and it's giving me a little bit of trouble because of the RNG being so bad. So here I am just trying to get rid of it somehow while it's still frozen. I should have just used my buster. I still got hit. That's a shame. That is unfortunate. The good thing is that's the last we'll see of them in this game. They will never appear in any other Mega Man game again. This is probably one of the few stages in the game where you're going to actually get any use out of the super arm. For here you want to time your ice slasher so that you can get past these fire sticks and freeze them. Well, freeze them and get past the fire sticks. I tried to go for this energy refill. It didn't work out, so I just kept going. I hate these guys. That is such piss poor placement. The Kamadama have some of the worst RNG ever. If you're climbing up this ladder, chances are high that they will just immediately drop down the ladder and attack you, and you'll fall back down to the previous floor and then have to climb back up again. My heart goes out to the people who do perfect runs of this game, because that is some BS. Especially if you're doing a buster only run. You have no choice but to climb back down so you don't get hit. And if the fleas keep on doing constant long jumps, they're just gonna keep on hitting you. Also, one thing I would like to mention is that you can actually take out these blocks with the Thunder Beam as well, if you don't want to use the super arm, which would actually make the super arm almost completely useless, having that information. But later on we're gonna face a boss where the super arm is going to come in handy. We've got footholders again, and you know how we do. We're just gonna use the magnet beam and just go right past these guys. There's also spikes on the ceiling because sometimes the footholders go to the top. But yeah, I don't care what kind of names I get called for using the magnet beam in this section. Like, these guys suck. They absolutely suck. I don't trust them. This is probably the only game that I know of where weapon drops actually respawn to their previous position, because normally that's not supposed to happen. So this is what this is the required section to use the magnet beam. I mentioned earlier in the playthrough that you have to get the magnet beam, and that particular room is the main reason why. Otherwise, you're gonna have to die and go back to Elec Man stage to start over. Here comes one of the most infamous bosses in Mega Man history. First of all, start heading right, because this happens. This is the Yellow Devil. It splits up into multiple pieces, and then when it forms, it spawns its eye in different places, either at the top of from the top of his head down to its torso, and then when it exposes its eye, it will shoot a blast, and then it will go back to doing this over and over and over again. It will split up, go to the left, split up, go to the right, and it will use the exact same pattern each time for as long as you fight this boss. In order to succeed at a boss like this, you have to have patience and you have to memorize this pattern. Otherwise, you will fail. There's also the pause trick that people love to expose, love to abuse to get past the yellow devil, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to go out like a champ because I like to get good at games that I play. Not that I haven't used it before, but really once you get the pattern down, it's not a super hard boss. The extra challenge I like to put on myself is if I can beat this boss without getting hit. In this case, I really couldn't. Weird thing is, once you beat it, it leaves an outline. Anyway, moving on to Wily Stage 2. We've got a section here where you need to be really careful, especially around these Bunby Hellies, because if you end up jumping across a platform, it can be very easy to get caught by one of these guys and fall into a pit. Otherwise, this is a simple section. Nothing too much going on. There's spikes up at the top, but I don't really know why those are there. Oh, what's this? We've got a rematch with Cubman. We've got a lot more room now that the blocks aren't in the way. Pretty simple boss to deal with, as usual. Takes plenty of damage from the I almost called it the wrong name. From the arm cannon. Now we have to deal with some more screwdrivers. This game loves these guys. And it also loves to slide. That's actually one of the worst things about this game, is that when Mega Man, when you stop walking, Mega Man just slides, and he slides quite a bit. It's pretty bad. And I'm glad they get rid of that in later games. And we've got another rematch. Elec Man. And that's it. No damage. It's such a good thing that he suffers from knockback, because Elec Man can be pretty scary to deal with. And so are these bombs if you don't know what you're doing. All you have to do is get into the rhythm. Pretty easy stuff to dodge, especially with tight controls. That's one thing about Mega Man games, is that when you play them, the controls are always going to be pretty tight. Well, not pretty tight, I'm just adding that word in. The controls are tight in this game. Mega Man moves at the exact same speed in the air as he would on the ground. In terms of mobility, Mega Man really just doesn't have any restrictions. From this point forward, it's a bunch of adhering Susies. As we climb down this section, we're getting close to the end of the level. Nothing like quick and easy work of those blasters. Make sure you take those guys out if you're gonna go for that energy refill. That's what I don't like about the Thunder Beam. Sometimes it randomly just misses, depending on where the beam current is going to go. Because sometimes it'll just go right over the enemy that you're trying to hit and not hit it. And it's kind of bad RNG. Oh, what's this? We've been cloned. So this is fake Mega Man, or clone Mega Man. I'm not totally sure what the name of this boss is. There's actually some official art of fake Mega Man. But depending on which weapon you have equipped, fake Mega Man is going to use that exact same weapon at the exact same time. Which means that if you have the super arm equipped, it's not going to do anything but move around and jump around. As far as I can tell, any weapon goes, but in this case I just used the Thunder Beam. And correct me if I'm wrong, but fake Mega Man seemingly does more damage than you for some reason. But that's going to be the end of this video. The next video will be the final part in our replay through of Mega Man. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. God bless.